Hello again from my front porch. It is a nice and sunny Saturday. Well, it's sunny up underneath the clouds, the cloud cover, but that's okay because again, I kind of like the cloud cover. It provides nice even lighting, makes me look, pretty. Last night we apparently got some more snow. And not a lot. I'm not going to bother taking you on the tour to show you the stuff because at this point it's a little afternoon, and the snow on the sidewalks and the pavement areas and even on the back deck, it's melting back off. But it was kind of funny that it was I just did the video saying, look, see how nice and warm it's gotten and how all this stuff is melted away, and then I look out this morning and everything's covered in snow again. Fortunately, not much, but it was there. I didn't even know it was going to do that, but whatever. So now it's melting mostly away. But apparently this morning it created some issues. There was reports again between north of Des Moines, between Des Moines and Ames. There was a report of another big major pileup of cars and vehicles, and it's like I just don't understand why people do that. Why do they not? Pay attention to the traffic conditions. And what's really the kicker is then I see stupid people on Facebook, when it's national media that post something about these kind of events. They say, oh, those people in Iowa, they don't know how to drive, blah, 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 blah. Well, actually, these events are taking place on the interstate, and a lot of the people involved are not people from around these parts. They're people traveling through these parts who clearly don't know how to drive in the weather of these parts. So I get a bit annoyed when people try to be all like, that's Iowans for you. Trust me. For the most part, those of us who have grown up here and who have lived here our whole lives, we can handle it. We don't like it, but we can handle it. It's all you other out-of-towners that are the problem. See, I'm 50 now. I can say things like that. Oh, you out-of-towners! Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The thing I really want to talk about today is Stargate. You can see I got my Stargate up on my little miniature mock-up of Stargate up on the wall here. Anyway, I want to talk about Stargate because Stargate, the franchise, has launched a new series. Now it's an all-online streaming service series. It's called Stargate Origins, and it takes place between the finding of the Stargate at the beginning of the 20th century and the events that moved the Stargate from where it was found in Egypt to the United States. You know what? I should probably back up just a moment and give you a quick little primer because not all of you are familiar with Stargate, and that's a crime. I can't let that stand. Now I'll try to make this quick. I've got my orange Canada Dry here with me to keep me hydrated just in case I go long. But so Stargate, the original movie came out, I believe, in 1994, starring Kurt Russell and James Spader. And the whole premise was that at the beginning of the 20th century, some archaeologists in Egypt found this big, massive metal ring under a large cover stone, and it had all these writings on it that nobody could read, and it was made of metal that was nobody ever seen before. And then fast forward to modern times, being the 90s, and you have this scientist brought in, Dr. Daniel Jackson, played by James Spader, who is brought in to try to help decipher the markings on this thing. And they do decipher it, and they wind up activating it. It turns out it's a Stargate that creates a stable wormhole to somewhere else in the galaxy, to another planet somewhere in the galaxy. And so Kurt Russell is there as this special forces colonel that leads a team that they all go through the Stargate to see what's what. I won't tell you all the details of the movie. Suffice to say, they go there, they discover civilization, they see bad guys that fly around in ships that are shaped like pyramids, because that's what our pyramids supposedly were for. They were landing pads for these alien vessels to come down and land on those pyramids. That's what Stargate says the purpose of the pyramids were, and that all of the gods of ancient Egypt were actually these alien individuals taking on those personas so they could rule over people and have their way. Anyway, so the movie of course ends, and it's okay. It was done by Roland Emmerich, who's the same guy that did movies like Independence Day. So it's give you kind of an idea of the kind of feel for what those what it's like. Anyway, it spawned 3 TV series: Stargate SG-1, which was on for 10 years, and in my opinion, one of the best TV shows ever made. And then Stargate Atlantis, which lasted 5 years, and then Stargate Universe, which unfortunately only lasted 2 years, but they kind of strayed from the formula. It didn't have the same look and feel as the first 2 series. It was darker and grittier and other things, and so I don't think it really caught the spark of the Stargate fan base. Now, Roland Emmerich hates all of the TV series because he had a vision for a trilogy movie series and certain things, and there's a lot of stuff then that obviously was created over 15 years of TV shows in which he didn't necessarily like or agree with the direction that the Stargate universe went. Not the TV show, the 3rd TV show, but in general, the whole Stargate entity. And so he recently tried to pitch the idea of making a reboot, of doing a new movie trilogy, and MGM was going to let him do it. And I was not at all happy because I knew he was going to wipe away everything that we'd come to know and love in the TV shows. Fortunately, he did so poorly on his Independence Day sequel that MGM decided that based on that and the amount of hate mail they were getting from Stargate fans who did not want him to screw up the mythology that has now been established, that they pulled the plug on that and instead decided to go this different route. So they've launched this new streaming show called Stargate Origins. Now it's only basically a mini-series kind of thing because it's not a full season of shows, but it's based on events roughly 10 years after the finding of the Stargate, and there are Nazis involved as Hitler was sending them out looking for kind of a crosses over with the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark, basically. The same concept stuff of what's going on. But so it's really interesting to see some new Stargate stuff get in there. But I mention all this because it's inspired me to dig out a script that I started working on in 2011, 7 years ago. Because of my love for the Stargate stuff, I had watched every show. I researched all these things, and I started watching all the ancient alien shows and the UFO hunter shows, and then just other general archaeology shows, and started doing all this research into things that even could quasi relate to the Stargate world. And out of that, I got this inspiration to write the script for an entire mini-series that would basically be a reunion series where it bring together the main characters of all 3 of the TV series that ran. Each of the TV series left a whole bunch of loose ends throughout their run. And so my mini-series was going to bring all of those cast people together. It was going to tie up a whole bunch of loose ends, explain a whole bunch of stuff that was never really explained, and then set up for a new series, sort of a Stargate Next Generation, if you will, kind of thing, in which a revision of the main enemy would present itself in the course of the miniseries, and now there'd be the whole new upping the ante with those things, and you could still have some of the old original cast members involved in this new project, but you'd be passing the torch to younger generation of cast members, so that now we begin to move it that way. Now, of course, every fellow Stargate fan that I've talked to about this, they're all like, "Oh my Lord, that would be great! Oh, I wish you would do that! Oh, I'd love to see them do that, and I would love to see them do that too." However, I found out that just writing something does not mean anyone's going to look at it. It seems that when you contact, because I tried contacting MGM directly, and I tried to see, first of all, I tried to see if I could just send it to them. Of course, they said no. And then I tried following up to ask, what was the process? What did I need to do to be able to get this in front of them? And after 3 or 4 messages or letters sent to them, I finally got a letter from MGM's legal department asking me to stop contacting them. Well, okie dokie then. So anyway, that kind of soured my passion for it. I was told you need to have a literary editor or whatever it's called, and the problem is I don't know how to find one. Couldn't find one. Couldn't do whatever. Maybe after I get my ATD book published and I actually have something published, maybe I can get somebody to listen to me about this. I don't know, but I mean they're completely unrelated, so I don't know how that would happen. But you never know. Anyhow, so when MGM basically told me, shove off, buddy, kind of diminished my passion for it, and so I sort of stopped working on it. But it's not finished. I mean, I've got it all storylined out, but I hadn't written out actually all the dialogue, all of the details of it. I'm maybe halfway through, maybe a little more than halfway through, but it's already at 133 pages. So the mini series part might be a stretch. It might actually be an entire series. A one-season series just to pull all that together. Now, someday if I ever win the lottery, like one of those big, massive dollar amounts, maybe I'll be able to pay for it, because it seems that's the only way it would ever get produced. But because of all of the new attention, and plus the original Stargate movie now, if you go out to YouTube, you can watch it for free. It's actually out there now for free to encourage and inspire people to watch it. And so go do that, please. If you haven't seen Stargate, go do that. Just keep in mind that the TV series takes things farther than what you see in the movie, and tweaks a bit of the mythology, a bit of the details in it, in order to accommodate the ongoing format of the TV show, but nothing really significant. Nothing that you can't just go, okay, I get it. They had to do that for the show. Anyway, so I was inspired to dust off the script and start working on it again. So last night I spent a little bit of time working on it, and I'm going to spend a little more time working on it today. Just because, and at this point, I know nothing is likely going to happen with it, that it's really just for my own enjoyment and fun, but so what? It is enjoyable and it is fun, and so I am going to work on it. And who knows? I know there have got to be some of you out there who enjoy Stargate as much as I do. Maybe sometime one of you will actually want to read it. It would be awesome for me to actually get somebody to read the thing and tell me what they think of it. As somebody who actually likes Stargate to read it and tell me. I would enjoy that very much. But anyway. So I'm going to go do that. Now, today, I had already determined, even before there was the snow stuff and the traffic issues, I determined that I wasn't going to go anywhere today. I have no reason to go out today or this evening, so it's a homebody day for me. I got the book thing to work on, or the script thing to work on. I got a few other errands around the house here to just get done, and so I didn't even shave. Check it out. See? Nope. Didn't even shave. Yep, I'm in my sweatshirt, I'm in my jeans, and didn't shave. This is definitely just a bum around home day for me, just me and my Canada Dry and a few healthy munchies that I stopped at the store and got last night. So anyway, I'm off to do that. I'm about to head off to worlds unknown through the Stargate. And that's what I'm doing today. Whatever you're doing today, hope you have a good time too. Make it out to see the Black Panther movie. And I haven't had a chance to see it yet. I'm going to go see it, but I haven't seen it yet. But I know several people are this weekend going out to see the Black Panther movie. And so make it out to see that and have a great time. I'll see you next time from my front porch.